All right, good afternoon. I'm Pat Coffey, and welcome to the International Association of Woodcarvers.
Well, good afternoon. Welcome, everyone, to the International Association of Woodcarvers, a little bit after 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is August the 23rd, 2025, and want to thank you all for coming back in on this Saturday afternoon for a demonstration. Today, we've got Pat Coffey back with us. He's going to be doing a demonstration on a bottle stopper, so it should be a great meeting. There's a few things I want to go through before we get started. The very first thing I'm going to talk about, so I don't forget it, we're going to be doing a knife auction today during the meeting. I don't know if you all saw that out on Facebook this morning. We do these knife auctions to benefit the IAWC so that we can continue with these meetings. The knives are donated by Helvey. Today, we're going to be doing a knife auction on a Rich Weatherby knife. Here it is, Rich Weatherby 2-inch Signature 1 Helvey. On the other side, you can see there, Rich Smith and Burnt Weatherby with the little B on that side. That's Rich Weatherby signature right there. I think this is number 83. And again, it's a 2-inch blade. So we're going to ask everybody that wants to bid on that to put your bids in the chat. High bid will win at the end of the meeting. If you win the bid or the auction, stay on the meeting at the end and we'll gather your information, tell you how to pay. We accept payment by PayPal on those. And again, the proceeds go to allow us to pay for the Zoom subscription to further these meetings. So I just want to go ahead and tell you all about that. Again, place your bids in the chat. High bid will win. Want to let you all know and remind you all that the upcoming CCA Carving the Rockies show is just right around the corner. It's September 20th and 21st in Colorado Springs, Colorado. If you are thinking about making plans to go out there, you definitely need to go ahead and do that. There's a lot of events going on there. If you're not able to make it live, one of the things I wanted to tell you is that we will be live streaming a few things there. They're going to be doing 3 demonstrations, 2 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. That will be live streaming on Facebook on the CCA's Facebook page. So make sure you go out and check those out if you're not there. And then we'll also be live streaming the whittling competition. And that's always fun. I think we'll have Ryan Olson that's going to be narrating that. We'll go around, see what everybody's doing, and come up with the best whittler for 2025. So we look forward to that. Another thing with the show is there's an ugly cowboy competition that we're going to be putting on, and they have that on Saturday night out there. Before we get into the meeting too far, I'm going to do a little video that Chris Hammock sent me. His buddy wants to come on and say a few words about the ugly cowboy competition. So let me go ahead and get that started.
Hey, old Stinky Sam here to talk to you about some news about the Ugly Cowboy Carving Contest at the Carving the Rockies All-Caricature Woodcarving Show in Colorado Springs. The CCA has waived all entry fees in the cowboy carving competition this year, and doggies, it's going to be exciting. So if you're a whittler and a wood chipper and a wood butcher and grinder and I don't know, whatever you wind up using for whittling out your old cowboys, you just get it all together and carve the gall darndest ugly cowboy you can think of. Not a good handsome one, good looking one like me, of course, but an ugly old one, and bring it out to our competition on September 20th on Saturday night. We're going to have the competition, and the winner, if you happen to win with Ugliest Cowboy, you might get a big old check. Or even if you just enter the competition, you're liable to get some kind of gifts this year. So come on out and have a good time with us, and ain't going to cost you nothing. Enter your cowboy, and you might just win a prize.
All right. So if you're coming out, make sure you carve an ugly cowboy. Have it with you to put in the competition out there. Again, like Chris said, they've waived the fees for that competition. So should be a fun opportunity to win some awards, get some attention out there. And it's a great time. It's a dinner. They have a dinner out at this ranch, and everybody goes, and it's a big thing. So definitely try to come out if you can with us and participate in that. Participate in the show. Bring your best carvings. Put them in the show. There's vendors and tool vendors, and you'll be able to buy carvings from CCA members and rough outs and those kind of things. So we hope to see you all out there. Some classes that are coming up. September the 9th, Dwayne Gosnell has a class coming up on Bob the Vampire. On October the 4th, Dale Green, who I saw on today, is going to be doing a class on sports and holiday shorties. And then October the 18th, Dave Stetson's going to be doing a class on Santa 2025. If you're interested in those classes, reach out to those instructors, get signed up. We saw the rough out for Dave's today. You'll need to get that, or maybe he'll be providing a cutout, but he'll let you know what you need for his class. But definitely try to get involved in some of those classes. That's a great way to learn. And again, you can see everything that the instructor is showing you during those classes. So you get a whole lot of instruction for not a whole lot of money. So just want to tell you about all those things. Before we get into Pat's demonstration, we've got our very own Dave Stetson on here today. He's going to share words of wisdom with us. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Dave, if you'll share us those words.
Hey, thanks, Blake. Word today comes from Socrates. I had to look up something about Socrates because I have heard the word, heard of his teachings, his words and such over the years. Really didn't know who Socrates was or when he was. I found out that he was an aristocrat in Athens, and he was executed in 377 because he was executed for impiety. And then I had to look up impiety because I didn't know what the hell that was. But I'll let you look that up for yourself. But Socrates said, the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing.
All right. Thank you, Dave. We appreciate that. No truer words, I don't think. So thank you for sharing that with us today. Again, today on our meeting, we've got Pat Coffey that's coming to us from, I believe, North Carolina. And Pat's going to be doing a demonstration on a bottle stopper. We've had Pat on a few times. His demonstrations are always great. He's got a lot of information to share. So, Pat, I just want to say thank you for coming on and once again sharing with us. And I'll go ahead and turn the meeting over to you, my friend.
All right. Thanks, guys, for having me. Again, speaking of knowing nothing, that would be me. Today, we're going to work on bottle stopper. So I got just a blank out of basic 2-inch stock. And a couple of the things I've come up with over the time is this guy might be my favorite. And he's got the driver's cap. I've done a couple of them. This one's got a cigar in the mouth. You can take off the front, or the bill, I guess. Make a bald-headed guy. Halloween coming up. I had some fun with Frankenstein. What else have I done? Some of them are better than others. I tried some expressions here, but the paint job didn't come out as good as some of them. This guy, I experimented with the hair. Expression I kind of like. I don't think I'd do the hair again. What I had done yesterday, just playing around. You know, my Mets aren't doing too good, but I did the ball cap backwards. He's got a big old chaw in his mouth. So I'm looking forward to giving him a paint job and seeing how he pumps out. But if you want to go ahead and put me on the other one, Dave. So, and you could make, I put in the dimensions that I was using. That was the first one I had, was the 2-inch stock. So, but obviously like anything else, you can make it bigger or smaller. So I usually go with the center line. And I mark in some ears. And I do them bigger, at least to start with. And as much as I try to make them look even starting off, they never seem to do. One's always bigger forward. So, and that's where I start. Oh, something else I do is I got a cork. Just a basic cork. I think these come out of, I'm not sure if they're tapered is what they call it. I've gotten wine corks before. and they don't fit in many bottles unless you're going to have a wine bottle. So I got those off Amazon for, I probably got like 30 of them for $9 or $10. So that wasn't a bad deal. So the first thing I start doing is just make sure I get in frame here. Blocking out ears.
Is that an Ortel soft V, Pat?
It is. It is. This is one of my older tools. I was lucky enough to carve with him back in at least once in the 90s. And that was fun. All right. Oh, there goes an ear. And this is just shaping them out. And all I'm trying to do is just bring the temple in a little bit. Let the ears stand out. Unless they're covered by hair, the ears are usually pretty big, like the nose. And let's see, before I get too far down the road, I usually put the cork at the bottom and then trace it out. So when I come down on the neck, I know how far to come down on so the cork isn't sticking out or the neck isn't sticking out. So what I've got here, I've got the ears blocked out, and then you decide what kind of carving you want. If you wanted to leave this part here and for the hair, you could do that. If you wanted to swap it off and use a bald-headed guy or Frankenstein, you just lop that off. So today, I think we'll go ahead and do the driver's cap. So from the back to the front bill, and then I'll make a line here inside. And just make a quick indentation all the way around. And that'll give me something to work with. And then this is just taking off front and back and shaping it how you want. I've done one a little different, done a ball player. And I don't know if I showed you these earlier or not. Some Civil War guys. So, but you can make all sorts of different things depending on what you want to play with on the front. What I'm going to do is swap out. So you don't have to watch me take off all this wood off the top. It's all end grain. As you know, it's a pain in the tail. So what I'll do is I'll just start carving.
Hey, Pat, if you would slide up towards the cork a little bit. There you go.
Keep on yelling at me when I'm out of frame.
So we got a question in the chat. Somebody wanted to know if you sell your stoppers, your bottle stoppers.
I think I've got a couple up on the Etsy shop. They'll all eventually get up there. I'm probably going to be teaching these in Florida in the winter, so I'm going to keep a couple of them as go-bys and probably keep on going at them. So the ears, I just start lopping off the corners. Maybe I'll do that up here with a pen. So I just take off up here, here, and then with a soft V, I'll come down and take off that and just make a stop at the bottom. Is the lighting okay?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, good. I just looked over and I got blurry. I don't know if it was the camera, my eyes, or whatever. All right, so we've got the basic hat set in. We've got the basic ears. We're going to come around to that. From the back of the ear, I usually just set up. This would be the hairline. And then from the front of the ear where I've got that, I'll sort of just come straight down, and that'll be the jawline. And what I do from here is I just start outlining everything.
Hey, Pat, they're wanting to know if you can set the one with the driver's cap in the top left of the frame so they can see it as you're carving.
Sure. We got a couple to choose from. I'll give front view and side view, depending on which way they play. All right.
And while you're doing that, Allison's wanting to know, what aspect do you enjoy more, the carving or the finishing?
Depends how they come out. If I like how it comes out, I like the finishing. But I would say overall, I probably like carving better. It's just fun. I could sit here and carve and have a whole bunch of these sitting around, and then get around to painting them weeks and months down the road. So I just prefer to sit here and carve. But when they do start coming out good, paint-wise, I'm pretty happy with them. So I'm just using a variety of tools here, whether it's a soft V or a big 11. And I'm just going to start coming down. And from the bottom of the ear, this is just going into the beginning of the neck. And I'll start bringing it down to where I marked it. And the bottle stoppers are fun. They're a nice way to play with expressions. If you wanted to try out a face before you put it on a full-size carving, it's a nice way to practice, I guess, before you get to your finished piece, which I've done. I actually started out, which we did a presentation on a while back, carving on the corner. And I had done a face on the corner, which I liked, which turned into a bottle stopper, which turned into a wood carving, all generally with the same face. All right. On the hat, still kind of squared off. So I'm just going to round that over a little bit. My wife calls these old man hats. And of course I have one. She enjoys when I wear it. Down here in North Carolina, though, we don't get too much opportunity to break out the good warm coat hats or coats. All right, I'm going to put in some marks for sideburn. And that allow us to start bringing in the temple a little bit. And I'll continue bringing the temple.
And Pat, you mentioned you have an Etsy store. Is there a way to search for your stuff? Just search for your name, or how can people find that out there?
I think it's Crane Creek Carvings. All one word. I live on Crane Creek out here in North Carolina, so it sounded like a decent enough name. I should have just kept it simple. My name and carvings. All right, so I'm going to continue around the hat a little bit. And this is, I don't have a system of I do this first or second. I just sort of look around and see what needs carving and work my way towards it. All right. I'm going to take down the ears a little bit and tuck them under inside the sideburn here. And all I'm doing is making a stop cut at the sideburn and then come it down with the cut, slice and cut. And what I've got is from the top to the bottom, I'll start, just get rid of some of these saw marks. And what I'm also trying to do is look on one side and look on the other and see if I'm close to where I want to be. Sorry about that. All right, so got the ears blocked out. I've got some sideburns. On here, you can see this guy took in the temple a good bit, and I like the look of him. I like this guy's look too. He's more chunky. I didn't take in the temple as much as this guy here. So it's just, again, just playing, seeing what works for you. Get rid of some of this stuff here. And what I'm going to do, go back up to the ear since I've trained it, taken it down some. I lost my, and I'll bring that into the sideburn a little bit. And I'll generally mark the, sort of got it there with that cut mark, but in this general area, top of the ears, I'll mark for the eye line. And then in general, the bottom of the ears will be the nose. And just like the ears, I start off big. And I can always take it down depending on how it looks as we get close. And I come in from the side. I'm trying to work on that profile. So I got to be getting the shape of a nose and a forehead and an eye channel. And I'll come underneath and block out the bottom of the nose. From here, I just start shaving up.
Was that a gouge that you use for the eye channel and below the nose, or is that,
That was a number 11, just
okay?
the biggest one I got for number 11 anyway. I guess that's a stew by. I think I got that at the show last year. And we're starting to get up, trying to bring in the temples a little bit.
And Pat, you've been out to the CCA show a couple of years. What can people expect to see out there? I mean, is there anything that you recommend them coming to see, or
At the show itself or Colorado in general?
no, that show itself?
I would just come and prepare to have fun. It's a great venue. You get to meet everybody that you haven't that you're all Facebook friends with. You chat with them online, you see their work, and now you can put faces to carvings and get to meet people, which is great. What I've done is start taking down the wings of the nose here. They've got all the vendors, and they all do Jedi mind tricks on me, so I spend all my money while I'm there. Silent auctions from the CCA guys. One of my favorite things, since I only competed in it once, was maybe it was the first time last year, was the whittling contest. And one knife, not your whole toolkit. And I think it was an hour and a half and a block of wood, and just go to town and have fun.
That's right.
And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. I sat next to Ducky, and we picked on each other for an hour and a half. Taking down the cheeks or the jowls just a little bit. And you can start, one side is bigger than the other, and you could keep that in and utilize it like I did on this guy. Just started coming down. I said, oh, that could work for chaw, bubble gum, or something like that. So I think I'll try and do the same for him. Maybe I'll leave him here, not do a mustache. Maybe I'll do the guy with the at least grinning or having a toothpick or something in his face. And I'm trying to take down to the nose here a little bit, the bridge of the nose. And I've got it marked, so I'm going to try and come here. And I don't always do this stuff when I'm carving on my own, but put some marks in here to keep me from screwing up in front of everybody. So we got some basic eye channels. I'm going to come up on the side of the nose, into those eye channels, trying not to put divots in the top. So got a big old nose. Trying to shape it up just a little bit.
You have somebody asking about the knife that you're using. What does it say on the side of it? Who makes it?
Shush, I'm carving. Badger State. Kind of apropos.
And you mentioned you're teaching in Florida. Are there other places where you're teaching?
Nothing scheduled at the moment. I've got I did some teaching earlier in the year at the barn here in North Carolina. With my couple of clubs, local clubs here in North Carolina. I did some carving classes with them. But at the moment, all I've got on the schedule is the Florida. I'm doing two of the Renegade or two of the classes down there. I think one is Sebring, the other one might be Gatesville. So I'm doing two of the three, plus I think there was a wood carving show. So I'm going to take the sideburns up underneath the cap. Cap itself, I'll try and get rid of some of these saw marks. Come all the way around to the back here. Something I did on this guy's cap. I got a little bit more swoop for the head. This guy is more straight. So that's just personal preference of which one you like. I like the swoop a little bit. So I'm going to try and get that in there. Again, looking at the top, this one's coming in more than this side, the bill here. Um, that underside just needs to clean up here. I'll probably do that after the class presentation demo. And I just marked off where I've got the cap coming into the bill. And let's see.
They're asking about the length of the blank. I guess it's 3.5 tall by 2 by 2.5. Is that right?
I think that's what it was. 2-inch stock. It's probably 3.5 inch tall. And like I said earlier, you can just go ahead and expand that or shrink it down, whatever worked for you. I think when I started, I probably had 2.5 inch thick stock, and the side profile that I had cut out a little bit easier. On the 2 inch, at least the pattern I provided was just barely fitting in.
And I'll place this pattern out in the notes on the YouTube video when we put that out there on Monday, in case somebody needs it.
Cool. What I do when I'm done with this thing, get a drill, put a hole at the bottom, put a small dowel in,
I don't even like the idea of your words.
stick it into the bottom, and a little bit of glue. And it's so far so good. I haven't had any issues with it. All right, so on the nose here, the mouth, I'm going to come just a little bit up and a little bit below the nostril, what I've got set aside for the nostril. And just put a stop cut in. I'm going to come in where I've got the nose and take out that chip. Comparison to the other side. Again, above and below. From the nose. And these aren't any final cuts by any stretch. I'm a very messy carver, so I'll go back in and clean it up as necessary. I've got some points here on each side of the nose where I had done that. I usually try and come in and just take off that point. And on the back here, I'll just take out this little chip. And it's just coming in and taking out right there. And I've got the beginnings of the nostrils. On the nose itself, and I'm looking at it from all different directions. Profile, side, and then top to bottom. And I'll just sort of start shaving and getting rid of the marks. Shaping as I go. I'll come in from the side. And soften the bottom. And this is still pretty big, so I'm going to come in here with the 11 and just take down a little bit more. So the nose itself, I'm going to play with that profile and take off some sharp edges. And just sort of shaped it into the bridge of the nose. That's very big. So I'm going to come in and take it down just a little bit more at the nostrils here. All right, so I'm going to continue this smile line here. This way and this way. This one I'll probably have come a little bit more straight down. This one more of a curvature to it. And I'm just going to use a soft V here.
It's a little smaller soft V. Is that a Denny?
Yep,
Yeah.
those are my two. Is there a small one, a large one? Does someone make a medium-sized one, or I don't know anymore. I know a couple other guys have gotten into making them. And I'm just sort of shaping the dental mound here a little bit to go into that smile line. So we've got the dental mound, shape up a little bit more, a lot more. Continuing to take off all the bandsaw marks. Redo that cut since I lost some of it when I shaved down the nose a little bit. I kind of like how that's coming out, so go a little deeper with the knife. And of course, since I'm Russian, I'm making a mess of it. We'll clean it up. For mouth, since he's a character, we'll just sort of goof him up a little bit. Remember to cut, don't pry like I just did, and start chipping away wood. So this guy, I was able to leave some space and got some teeth in on him. This guy, I just sort of gave him a big old mouth, no teeth showing. So we'll sort of shoot for him. So on the side, I give a little cut, top and bottom of the lip. And I just put a triangle in there as chip cut. I'll come in at the bottom here. So I've come in from the side. And then I'll come in down, trying to accentuate that bottom lip. One thing I haven't done at the Carving in the Rockies show, I haven't been able to stay late, and still won't be able to do it this year. But they do have the all the classes there, and I'm a big proponent of classes. One, I like taking them; they're just fun to hang out with and carve with everybody. But you can always pick up a lot of good info, and at least for me personally, I feel like my carving skills get better the more classes I take.
Yeah, and for those that are wondering, it's September 22nd through the 24th. The instructors are Bob Thurston, Dennis Thornton, and Mitch Cartledge. And I think they're still taking names. There may be a waiting list at this point. So if you're interested in that, probably should try to get signed up soon.
If you can make it, I highly recommend it. So what I had done here was I just sort of took down the smile lines a little bit, undercut the lip, and it also starts bringing out the chin. And you can sort of bring that underneath the jaw line, connect them up, and you turn them into an old man or older man with some jowls. So this side should be puffier than this side. I'm going to take it down just a little bit more. And I'll start working my way towards the eyes here a little bit. Right here in front of me. Just making more room in the eye channel. And I take the eye channel back so you can see the inside of the eye is here, and the outside, not the eye is going to be this blunt, but the eye channel itself, the smile lines, the wrinkles, however you want to call them, you should be able to see them over here. So, I take down, or try to, the inside of the eye before I start. The eyebrows are sort of, or lack thereof, are bugging me. I'm going to come in with a number 7 in between them and just try and define them just a little bit before I get too far down the road.
There's a question in the chat. When you teach, is there one thing you want the students to learn or leave with the class?
Not particularly one thing. I'd like everybody to leave with something, but everybody's at a different level. And what each person takes away is, is different for everybody. When I was first starting, I was happy with the straight cut and something that looked vaguely like a face. I was real proud of that. Now, when I went to the Renegade this past year, and I was picking out projects based on eyes and hands, and I wanted to see how every instructor did theirs, and I came back with an example of it all. So it depends on where you're at in your carving, but if you can come away with something, even if it's just a good time having fun and hanging out with people, that's money well spent. The Zoom classes, while you don't get the interaction with everybody, they're great. I've done a bunch of them with different people. Dave, Dale. There's a lot to be learned, and it's a great venue. That's another nice way to do it if you're not close enough to some of these places. I'm real lucky living close. I'm about just over an hour to the barn here in North Carolina, and Jerry Clark has put together a good line of instructors almost every month, except for the really cold ones. And we all get together and carve and have fun. So this guy here, I might try and just do a crinkle. I don't like this mark so much. So I'm going to erase it. Try to. So I've marked out this one on my right, and I'm going to go come to the top of the eye, and I come down to the inside. And this is just a small little V tool. You can do this with a gouge, a knife, but I just like to start and mark it out with the V tool. And then I come back in and outline it, re-outline it with a knife. And I'll try and not make it so fuzzy, get some of the fuzzies out of there. So, and then at least in my mind, I like a smaller eye, if that makes sense, smaller eyeball, eye opening. A lot of mine in the past have been big, wide-eyed, googly eyes. And I found that the smaller eye, if I can actually do it, sets off better. We got a big old mess in here. So I'm going to come here at the back or at the outside and just make a chip. Same on the inside. And do a chip. And I'm just trying to shape the eyeball a little bit so it's not as doesn't have all the facets that the rest of the carving has in it. And that makes it a little bit easier to paint down the road. That's the beginnings of an eyeball. On the outside here, I'm going to try and tuck the lower lid under the upper lid. And that gives it a little bit more shadow. And you can come in again with the V-tool, a gouge, a knife, and just sort of continue that around. And you've got beginnings of a bag.
Pat, can you pull the carving up closer to the camera so they can see the eye that you just carved?
Sure. Let me just do this real quick. Maybe this will help. So I did the cut and I did a little bit of a hopefully that shows up a little bit. For the squinty eye here, I'm just going to take that in a bit. And again, I'll come in with the V-tool and just give it a quick outline. And then I'll come in and give it a couple of passes. You don't have to do it all at once. On any of these eyes, you don't have to go deep right off the bat. And then I'll just shave a little bit off one side. Got to have almost all my tools in the bag working around here. So I got a squint and I've got an open eye. What I don't have is some eyelids. So I'm just going to clean that up just a little bit, top and bottom here. That'll give them an upper eyelid. And so I'll start the squint on this side. Same way. And you can give him a couple of wrinkles at the bottom, since he's really not going to have a bag with the eye being squinty. Back to this nose a little bit. All I'm doing is just shaping it to where I think it looks halfway decent. And a couple of days to do the nostril. You can come in here. I got to find a number 7 or a number 5 that fits in for you. And when I'll usually come in once I've done the curve there, is I'll come in and just deepen it. And again, you could do that with a knife, a gouge. And what you want to be able to do, at least in my mind, is you've got the wing of the nose set here. And then you've got the septum or the cartilage. So you should be able to see down in there. And you can do the same thing with just a knife. Just a straight cut, make it a triangle. And I don't favor one way over another. It really depends on the carving. And if it's small, big, what do I think will work there? Let's see, clean it up. What haven't I done? Haven't done ears. No. I usually try and come in with this is number 7. And I'll just start taking them in here. And I'm just shaping the inside of the ear and bringing it in towards the sideburn. Let me get rid of some of these marks here. And then there's a couple of, my ears are simplistic at best. You can come in and just use a straight gouge. What I've been doing lately is doing a triangle. And just I've got my triangle deeper in the center, and I'm going to take off that tip right there. I think Roger Stiegel, this might be the way he does it. I'm not sure. Somebody does it this way. This is not, I borrow everybody else's ideas. And they put them out there for us, so.
Hey, Pat, Dale Green's asking about your carving glove and if you would recommend it.
Yeah, it works for me. Most gloves don't last long, I guess. And we all seem to put tape on them, but I like the grip on this one. And it doesn't leave too much residue on. You can pick up a pack of 2 I think the last one I've gotten them at Lowe's before, but the price has gone up. And being cheap, I went and looked at Amazon and saved a couple of bucks. So it comes in a pack of two. Was it Klein Tools? I think they come in, this is an A4. I think they come as high as A5, which is more cut resistant. When I've been wearing the gloves, I haven't cut myself. Of course, when you come back and say, oh, I'm just going to do a quick, let me just check this one shave here. Let me check this part. That's where I usually cut myself. All right. So there's pretty much the year. And what I had done was put a triangle in there, cut that out and cut the tip off right here. And then just came through with a number 9 or 11 and give it some shape. You can do the other, I'll show you the other way. Let's see. I don't think these even look like they're the same ear, but that's all right. We'll fix that later in post-production. And I'll come in with the small number 9. And put a stop cut. My old dog has awakened off the couch behind me here. So it's rough, but that's the basics. Any questions?
Hey, can you give a close-up of the nose? Steve Kennedy's wanting to see the nose up close.
Sure. So it's rough, got a lot of fuzzies. And you can play with the nose in the profile. You just have fun with it.
And then somebody's asking if it could be done without a cutout by doing it like a bust and cutting the bottom off for those people that don't have a bandsaw.
Say that again.
Says this could be done without a cutout for those that are without a bandsaw by doing it like a bust and cutting the bottom off, right?
I would think so. I mean, if you wanted to leave the neck longer, you can definitely. Let me see. I got one sitting here behind me. This is from a Ryan Olson class, and it's 2 parts. You know, the bottle stopper part, and the neck was longer, and it went into a bust. But they all require a bandsaw, I would think, at least to get the cutout going.
And then Rob's asking if you use CA glue to attach the dowel and the cork.
Pretty much, I've been either using the wood glue. I've got Gorilla Glue here, and then I've got the for some other stuff I've used the 2-part Gorilla Epoxy. But the wood glue seems to hold fine into the dowel and the cork. I haven't had any problems.
All right, and I'll just remind everybody just a couple more minutes on the knife auction. If you're interested in bidding in that, go ahead and put your bid in the chat.
I'm going to take in the temple just a little bit more. We'll probably take back the sideburn, give me more of a temple. And at this point, I mean, it's blocked in. I've got all the major elements that I want. So now it's cleaning up and playing. putting hair in, detailing it.
We've had quite an interest about the hat as far as the plaid and stuff that you've painted on there. Can you kind of go through that process just quickly?
Sure, sure. I use pens, for lack of a better word. Let's see. So I've got a graphic Master's Touch and a Jelly Roll 10 or 10 for white. So, and a few of these, it's just black and white. And another one I've done green, red, and white. And let's see. Well, I can do it right here. And I do it before I seal it, paint it, I do anything. I'll start with a white line. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll come up and put a black on either side of it. It has to be more perfect than that. That's a little rough. I am nervous, but I also got a little, I think they call it a familiar shake thing going on. So, not horrible when you're a wood carver. Back when I was a pilot, I didn't much care for it. Not that I scared anybody. And I would just continue that pattern around. So the next time I'd have white, black, black, and then I just have one black. And then I can come over and put two with the white in between it. And just continue that. So it's this one was two black all the way around, two black lines, a white line, two black lines, a white line, and just back and forth. This guy with the colors, I started with the white, put red around it. Then I went green and put white around it. So I just alternated. And the colored ones, do I have them somewhere? There they are. Gel pens. So again, like I said, I do it on bare wood. And then I dip it in Minwax 209 tinted that I tint up with a little bit of artist oil color. And then it stays. I haven't had any problem with running on any of these, the black markers, the white markers, or the colored ones. So, and I do like it. It adds something. I've done a plain one before, and you know, they're just kind of I think these are done up in just a light brown, but they stand out. They add a nice touch to it. But that's pretty much it, guys.
All right, Pat. Is there any other questions from anybody in the room as far as Pat goes? All right. Well, we'll go ahead and call the auction on the knife. It looks as though Stephen Hall is the winner for that. So, Stephen, if you'll stay on, we'll get your information here at the end. We appreciate your support of the International Association of Woodcarvers. Pat, I just will say thanks for once again coming on, doing a demonstration and sharing your knowledge. I think everybody can see, based on how quickly you were able to rough that in, your skill level and the fact that you know you really know how to handle the tools and know what you're doing. So thank you for all that that you've done to share with us. We'll be posting the video back out on YouTube on Monday. So if anybody wants to go back and rewatch that, they're welcome to go back and do that there. I'll post it out on social media as well, so you can just click on the link and go out and check it out. Just want to remind everybody again about this upcoming CCA Carving the Rocky show, again, September 20th and 21st. I will be posting our International Association of Woodcarvers schedule out on social media, but don't forget that we'll be live streaming from out there both on the 20th and 21st. The demonstrations by the CCA members, as well as the whittling competition. So if you're not able to make it out there, make sure you check out the Facebook page, and I'll post the times and stuff for all that information out on social media. So just keep an eye out for all that. I want to thank you all for coming on with the International Association of Woodcarvers. Pat, again, thank you for all that you do. And
Thank you.
We will see you all soon. If not before, maybe out at the Colorado Springs CCA show. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.
What they call the little bloopers.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them for sure.
Well, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just turning it over to you and just let you. You're a pro, so I'll let you go.
All right, we'll see about that.
He is a pro. See?
Golly, he's too professional. No, good job, Pat. Appreciate
All right,
it.
good deal.
Let me pause. Let's see. Pause.